If you could somehow fly a plane around the edge of the biggest known star, you'd better pack snacks, because the trip would take about 5,000 years. Yeah, your great grandkids would still be mid-flight. Now, let me introduce you to that star. It's called Stevenson 218, and honestly, it has no business existing. This thing is an absolute monster. If you dropped it where our sun is right now, it wouldn't just look bigger in the sky. No, it would eat the entire inner solar system for breakfast. Mercury? Gone. Venus? Gone. Earth? Yeah, we wouldn't even have time to panic. Mars, Jupiter? All swallowed. It would stretch all the way out past Saturn. One star, bigger than almost everything we orbit. To put numbers on that insanity, it's about 2,150 times wider than the Sun and has 10 billion times its volume. It shines with the energy of 440,000 suns combined. And here's the part that makes astronomers scratch their heads. It shouldn't exist. According to our best models of how stars form and behave, there's a limit, a kind of cosmic, nope, that's too big. Go beyond it, and the star becomes unstable. It should tear itself apart. But Stevenson 218 didn't get the memo. It's just sitting there, about 19,000 light-years away, quietly breaking the rules. We found it hiding deep in the Scutum constellation, buried behind thick clouds of cosmic dust, like some kind of celestial introvert. Back in the 1970s, astronomer Charles Bruce Stevenson was scanning the sky in infrared, basically trying to see through all that dust, and stumbled onto a massive star cluster now known as Stevenson 2. Inside it, a ridiculous collection of giant stars, 26 red supergiants, the biggest family of them we've ever found in the Milky Way. And then there was star number 18. At first, astronomers weren't even sure it belonged there. It sat a bit off to the side, moved slightly differently, and shone way brighter than it should. Basically, it was the weird kid in the group project who somehow does everything and breaks the grading system. Because it's buried in dust, normal telescopes can't see it. So scientists had to rely on infrared observations, slowly piecing together its size over years. And the numbers just kept going up. 1,800 times the sun's radius, then 2,000, then even more. Until finally, around 2012, measurements pinned it at about 2,150 solar radii, making it the largest known star, overtaking giants like UY Scuti. To make that real, its diameter is roughly 3 billion kilometers. Light itself, moving at the fastest speed in the universe, would take almost 9 hours just to go around it once. For comparison, light circles our sun in about 14 seconds. Let that sink in. This isn't just big, it's completely absurd. And here's where things get even stranger. There's a theoretical boundary called the Hayashi limit, basically the point where a star becomes too large to remain stable. For red supergiants, that's around 1,500 times the sun's radius. Stevenson 2-18? It blows past that by over 40%. So why hasn't it fallen apart? Well, inside a star, there's a constant tug of war. Gravity is pulling everything inward, trying to collapse it. Meanwhile, nuclear fusion in the core is blasting energy outward, pushing everything apart. Normally, those forces balance nicely, but in stars like this, things get messy. As massive stars age, their cores shrink and heat up, while their outer layers balloon outward, becoming incredibly thin, millions of times less dense than Earth's atmosphere. Imagine something the size of Saturn's orbit, but as diffuse as smoke. The star starts to pulse, churn, and breathe almost like a living thing. Giant currents of hot material rise and fall, taking months or even years to cycle. And then something wild happens. Dust forms in the outer layers. Yes, dust, around a star. That dust gets blasted outward by the star's intense radiation, dragging gas with it and creating powerful stellar winds. Now, most red supergiants lose mass this way, but Stevenson 218 is on another level. It's shedding mass at an insane rate, about the mass of Earth every 25 days. Imagine the Sun casually throwing away an entire planet every month. At this point, you'd probably say, okay, so it's dying, right? Exactly. But here's the twist. That extreme mass loss might actually be the reason it got so big in the first place. As it loses mass, its outer layers become less tightly bound by gravity, which lets them expand even more. It's a feedback loop. More brightness leads to more mass loss, leads to less gravity, leads to more expansion. Which is how you end up with a star that breaks the rules, but also one that's slowly tearing itself apart. Now, let's make this really real. Imagine replacing our Sun with Stevenson 218. At first, nothing dramatic, just a growing glow in the sky. Then suddenly, Mercury is gone. Venus, swallowed. Earth? We wouldn't burn. We'd be inside the star, dissolved into a superheated plasma. No oceans, no continents, just particles. Mars follows. Then the asteroid belt, every rock, every fragment wiped out. Even Jupiter, the giant of our solar system, wouldn't stand a chance. It would be engulfed, its atmosphere stripped and melted away. Saturn? It would sit right on the edge, literally skimming the star's surface, its rings vaporized like morning mist. Only Uranus and Neptune would survive. Barely. And even they'd be blasted by intense radiation and a constant storm of stellar wind. Everything from Mercury to Saturn, gone. All because of one star. And remember, Stevenson 218 isn't stable. It's shedding material, blasting out superheated plasma, and inching closer to its final fate. This isn't just a giant star. It's a cosmic catastrophe, happening in slow motion. Now imagine standing on a distant world like Uranus or Neptune as this giant looms nearby. At first, nothing dramatic. Then a relentless storm begins. Not wind as we know it, but stellar wind. Blasting outward at tens of kilometers per second, stripping away atmospheres layer by layer. Even if those outer planets avoided being swallowed, they'd be left as bare, frozen cores. Because Stevenson 218 doesn't just sit in space, it devours it. But here's the twist. Despite its insane size, it won't live long. Our Sun has about 10 billion years. Stevenson 218? Just a few million. Right now, it's already in its final stages, fusing helium into heavier elements in a chain reaction that speeds up dramatically. Carbon, neon, oxygen, then silicon. Each phase burns faster than the last, until finally the core becomes iron, and that's the end. Iron can't fuel fusion, so the star loses its internal support. Gravity wins. In less than a second, the core collapses, shrinking to a tiny, ultra-dense object, a neutron star, or even a black hole. Then comes the rebound. The outer layers slam inward, hit the core, and explode outward in a supernova, one of the most powerful events in the universe. Even from 19,000 light-years away, it would shine brighter than almost anything in our sky, visible even during the day, briefly rivaling the glow of the Milky Way. But here's the eerie part. It might have already happened. We see Stevenson 2-18 as it was 19,000 years ago. The explosion could have occurred thousands of years back, and the light just hasn't reached us yet. Right now, a signal of its death could be racing toward Earth. Or maybe it still has time left. We don't know. What we do know is how rare this is. To even become something like this, a star must start out incredibly massive, 20, maybe 30 times the Sun's mass. Those stars are extremely uncommon, and they burn out fast. Many lose too much mass along the way and never reach this size, instead becoming compact objects like Wolf-Rayet star. Stevenson 2 to 18 somehow balanced it all, holding enough mass to expand while shedding it at a record rate, in just the right environment, and likely without a companion star interfering. A perfect cosmic accident. And here's the part that really breaks your intuition. It's enormous, about 10 billion times the Sun's volume, yet only about 20 to 30 times its mass, which means it's incredibly empty. Its outer layers are thinner than Earth's atmosphere. You could travel thousands of kilometers inside it and barely notice. It's less like a solid star, more like a glowing fog, huge, diffuse, and barely held together. Yet it shines with the energy of hundreds of thousands of suns. This is physics at its limit. And when it finally dies, it will scatter the elements it forged, carbon, oxygen, iron, into space. The same ingredients that make planets and life. Every atom in your body heavier than helium came from a star like this. Stevenson 218 is one of them. Right now, it hangs in the sky, massive, unstable, and living on borrowed time. And somewhere out there, its final light may already be on its way.